Okay, guys. It's Old Man G here. Back again. With another video. For Red Devil Studio. Yeah. We're live here. And this is a video on Manchester United transfer crisis. It's basically a follow-up video to a lot of the videos I posted over the week. And it's a bit of a rant. To be honest, it's a really big rant. Hopefully you guys can tune in. Please like the video, share, subscribe, and we'd really appreciate your support, guys. But seriously, guys, this is what can I say? Basically, United obviously this last week we have been linked to Milinkovic, Savic. They've been linked to Bruno Fernandes, and obviously Harry Maguire as well. And most of the reports, if I'm honest, have been coming from Italy. They've been coming from Portugal. Well, okay. Let me start here. Let me start here. Let me start here, guys. Let me start here. Okay. The first thing, okay, is that I believe, okay, United, we've been taken for a ride. Okay, I think that we have the Portuguese, Italian, and Italian media, Italian journalists, and agents, okay, have been deliberately leaking some of this stuff to the press, to the fans, so that essentially allowing or enabling bidding wars to happen. Oh, thanks, Jamie. Yes. We love a good rant, mate. Stay tuned. This is going to be probably a good half an hour rant, a very long rant about what's going on at this football club. But yeah, basically, I think we've been messed by agents. Okay, who have tried to inflate or increase the value of their clubs, their players, sorry, to engage in bidding wars. I think that that's what Sporting Lisbon have done. Leicester City is a tie set. We'll come to that. But yeah, one of the big things I think there's been happening, okay, is that especially in this transfer window with agents and clubs trying to basically extract as much money as possible, leaking things to a press, that don't have no basis, you know. So the reality is, well, okay. Let's stop. Let's go back. Um, sorry. Yeah, man. Good rant. Um, so let's start with Milinkovic Savic. Okay, we'll get to Bruno. But Milinkovic Savic. Okay, it was Italian press. Okay, it was Italian press. He plays for Lazio. Okay, that said, oh, okay, Milinkovic Savic deal. Now with Milinkovic Savic, to be fair, okay, we are still unsure about where Pogba is going. Okay, that gives me palpitations. If I'm honest, guys, it really does. It gives me palpitations because if we, as I've said in previous videos, if we do not sign a Pogba replacement and Real Madrid come in, okay, with a 150 million bid and get Pogba, okay, we could potentially have a Premier League season without poor Pogba and with no Pogba, no Herrera, no Fellaini, but a dearth in midfield. That is not a good enough midfield to compete with top four at all. Okay, so I want to believe the Milinkovic Savic story because I feel that if Pogba goes, we need a replacement. We need one. We have to improvise. So, but the reality is there's nothing coming from Manchester United. Okay, nothing can really coming from Sam Stone, really. There's nothing, and the reality is, guys, just think about it for a second. How do you think that we will actually be able to? We've got just under 2 weeks. The Premier League closes window. Sorry, the transfer window closes on the 8th. Okay, it's now the 28th of May. Okay, so we have 11 days. 11 days, guys. We have 11 days to come up to make an agreement with Milinkovic Savic and potentially others. Tell me what you think, guys. Post in the comments, post in the description. Do you think it's possible for us to make 3 deals, Savic, Maguire, Fernandes, in 11 days? We struggled to make a deal with Wan-Bissaka. That took weeks. How are we going to sign 3 players in 11 days? I don't think it's possible, guys. I don't. Yes, I agree. Jamie, this summer's been one of the biggest letdowns ever so far. The amount of players we've been after and the amount of time we've spent with transfers knowing we need a football director. Of course we do. Of course we do. You know, just look at. Before I go into the other players, let me make an interjection. Okay, look at Are Manchester United a bigger club than Atletico Madrid? Atletico Madrid have spent, I think, probably it will be probably approaching 200 million. United are a bigger club than Atletico Madrid, and Atletico Madrid got the vast majority of their business done. They spent, I think, 100 plus on Felix. They got Trippier. They got a few others. They are small. They're not obviously they're not a nothing club, but they are a smaller club compared to United. And United is struggling to get transfers in. Just think about how ridiculous that is, guys. Think about how ridiculous that is that Atletico Madrid have spent in excess of £200 million and United, with a new manager, have not been able to get our transfers, spend anywhere near that because we're waiting, so we hear, on the sale of Lukaku and potentially Pogba, whether we're going to spend money or not. That's a joke. We're the richest club. We're the second richest club in the world behind Real Madrid. And Real Madrid have spent money. They spent money. We spent. Oh, she's saying no. We spent over for one player. 50 million for Wan-Bissaka. I mean, we'll see about. Is that? Do you think we overspent for Wan-Bissaka, Jamie? I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see because I think looking at how he's performing in pre-season, possibly maybe that 50 million might actually be a steal if he proves to be one of the best right backs in the Premier League and potentially in the world. So we'll see about that. As on production, how Maguire sell? Yeah, I mean, okay, let's talk about Harry Maguire, guys. Harry Maguire. Well, again, one of the videos actually where our channel actually was able to actually pick off actually was the fact that supposedly we'd agreed a deal with Harry Maguire of Leicester. Now, I said at the start, as I said previously, I don't think that Harry Maguire is worth £80 million. I think that it's steal, but the reality is that we should be working on transfers before the transfer window. Okay? Yes, okay, Harry Maguire may not worth £80 million, but there's no reason why United Football Club cannot scout other players. There's not. There should be. There's no real reason why Manchester United cannot scout for other players. There's no reason. There shouldn't be any real reason at all. Okay? So you look at other teams, so you look at Atletico Madrid, you look at Liverpool City. Right, they made the bid, early transfer deal done. We were linked with Koulibaly, to be frank, for since May. Not interested. Napoli not interested. And now suddenly we're like, well, we need to make a negotiation for Harry Maguire. It doesn't work. It really doesn't. Now, guys, Eric Bailly is injured. So we're going into a season. Just think of it. Just chill. Just info. Like again, share, subscribe, comment in the chats. Yeah, I'm reading them. But just think, guys. Just think. Well, thanks, Corey Time. Congrats on 600 plus sub. Thanks, appreciate. Go, please like our 500 subscriber video, which I posted 50 minutes ago. Really appreciate it. But guys, just think, from a defensive point of view, we're going in, okay, Bayer's injured, he's out, probably 6 weeks. So we're going in defensively with Lindelof, Smalling, Jones, Rojo, and Twansibi. Now, to be fair, Twansibi looks okay, but he's youth. Jones, I don't even have to give Phil Jones an introduction, guys. You know what Phil Jones is capable of. You know it. Yusuf Cameron says, Man U leadership inept is become very crippling. Sierra Leone fans, Sierra Leone. Oh, from Sierra Leone, man. Good to tune in. Fans and losing faith, man. Guys, I'm with you. I'm really with you because it doesn't make sense. As Jamie has just posted above, Atletico Madrid went to Trippier out of nowhere, and within a day or two they signed him, and we take a month to sign a player. How does the biggest football club in the world not manage to get transfers done? It doesn't make sense, guys. Even if you look at promoted teams, how much that Villa have spent, how much that Wolves and Fulham spent last season. These are teams that came from the Championship. Fulham spent, although they got relegated, but they spent 150 million, I think, last season. Fulham. What did we spend last season our summer window? You guys remember? Fred and Delo. That was it. So in a way, to be honest, should we be surprised? Last season, we only spent in the summer. We didn't spend anything in the January window, and we only bought Fred and Delo. No one was sold. We'll come on to Deadwood FC in a second, actually, but I just want to finish on the update for the transfers. So yeah, man. The fact of the matter is that with Harry Maguire, the reality is that, as Brendan Rodgers has said, because it's coming from his coach saying an agreement hasn't been reached. It hasn't been. It hasn't been. So there's been no agreement has been reached with Leicester. United are prepared to pay the £80 million. Fine, okay, but there's no alternatives. But of course, leaks to the press, trying to get some agents. Harry Maguire clearly wants to stay. Fair play. He wants. Thanks to everyone that's watching, by the way. 25 current views is probably one of the highest we've had in a while. Appreciate it. But yeah, guys, he, you know, he, what? I need to compose myself because it's frustrating. I'll park Harry Maguire's side. It's possible that we're still in for him. The question comes to: do you guys think we will spend 80 million? Okay, because that's what Leicester wants for Harry Maguire. I don't personally think he's worth 80 million, but if we're going to get him, we have to spend the money. That's the reality. That's the British tax, unfortunately. That's what's going to happen. Okay, so if we're going to spend 80 million on him, personally, I think we should have just did the extra and just bid for Koulibaly, to be frank, the experience, etc. easily. If we're not going to do that, then what exactly? How are we gonna fix our defense, guys? Post in the comments, guys. How do you think that we're going to be able to fix our defense? Because I just don't know. I don't know how we're going to go into the Premier League season with potentially Phil Jones and Smalling in that centre back defence with Matic in front of them. Okay, but we'll get to that. I'm gonna just read some of your comments now as well. Okay, they've been coming in. Yusuf, yeah, we've read that. McLean's Nicky. Ed Woodward is just shit, for crying out loud. Sorry, our language before I get blocked on YouTube. And he's still doing it United. May as well just say the least. Yeah, I mean, we'll have. I'm guys. There's a lot of rants. There'll be a lot of rants for a lot of people. This is going to be a long rant video, guys. Seriously, it is. We'll come to Ed soon. Okay. Yeah, Ed Woodward was house. Yeah. I'm not happy Manchester United from Kierio Lokindego. Yeah, neither am I, man. Neither am I. I'm not. I'm really not, guys. Yeah. So, Harry Maguire's side, let's talk about Bruno Fernandes now. Now, this has been, I would argue, the biggest joke, to be honest, of the transfer window. Obviously, you guys know, I posted a video a while back, yesterday, which will be with essentially breaking news that came from the Italian press, Corriere Sport, that said he was coming for a medical. That was worth. That was why that was what was reported. I put it as breaking. I'm passionate, enthusiastic. Obviously, I want him to sign. We've been heavily linked with Bruno Fernandes the entire summer. And that is that I reported news. That's what came out. Okay. And clearly it's been debunked. Simon Stone in particular was like, no, guys, this is balls. This is nothing. We're not actually in it at all. We're not. So yeah. But the reality is that Sporting have said, effectively unofficially, that they'd sell him for 65 million, let's say, even 70. But 65 million for Bruno Fernandes, I don't really understand why United have such a problem forking out the money for that player. We need another midfield player. We do. Everyone knows this. Herrera's gone, Flane is gone. And this isn't shouldn't be a Pogba replacement, but we need another We need another midfielder. Well, I didn't watch the game, but Liverpool fans told me about how dangerous. Klopp even mentioned he doesn't want Fernandes to sign for Manchester United because he's such a dangerous player. That's Liverpool. That's Jurgen Klopp speaking. So for some reason we're dragging on the heels. So reports even coming out 2 3 days ago saying the United are not happy that we're being linked to Bruno Fernandes. So are you okay guys? So are you mean to tell me that our midfield, okay, is going to consist of Matic, McTominay, Fred, Pereira, and possibly Pogba, depending on when or if Real Madrid get him or not. So if we don't have Pogba, we have a midfield of Fred, McTominay, Pereira, and Matic. Matic being the only defensive midfield player, which scares me. Just reading the comments again. Jamie again, yeah. Maguire's of 80 million in this market. If Lewis Dunk is reportedly worth 45 million, Edward just doesn't see the worth though. He's running nice like his bank, doesn't have a clue about football. I agree. I agree by 80 million worth in this transfer market. What I would say though is that for some reason there is this sort of British obsession with there seems to be obsession with British born talent and so on. You know, I don't get why. What's happened to our scouting network? You know, like think about N'Golo Kante. N'Golo Kante went to Leicester for like pittance. I think maybe 500,000, maybe a million. You know, and he's one of the best players in the world, and he was one of the best players in the world when he was playing for Leicester. So I don't understand why we can't find players. Maybe that's why Ole wants to get Sean Longstaff. We'll talk about that a bit later. But I don't really understand why, from a scouting point of view, why we can't seem to scout well anymore. You know, I mean, I've always said I'm not particularly interested in big name signings, although I think experience is important. But at the same time, like there clearly are players that are ridiculously good, that are world class, that are hidden gems in clubs that just need to be found. And if you can find Kante at League Two, I think, club or something like that, who is a beast, there surely are other players there, surely that are certainly not more than 80 million or whatever. Guys, yeah. So where was I, man? Sure, the rant is the rant is long. The rant's bashing. So Bruno Fernandes, yes, yeah, I remember now. Okay, Bruno Fernandes. So yeah, basically on Bruno Fernandes, um, Bruno Fernandes, um, we're still waiting. Do you think, like, post in the comments, guys, listen, do you think that we're actually going to sign Bruno Fernandes? I posted a Twitter poll, I think beginning of this week, but basically saying, do you think that we can sign Bruno Fernandes? And essentially, slight majority of you said no, we're not going to sign him. And if I had to pick, to be honest, I believe out of the three, I think Bruno Fernandes to me is the priority because I feel our midfield is not enough to compete on itself. I think that defensively, we've got Lindelof and we've got Twansy looks okay, and we've got Smalling. I think we desperately need another centre back, but I feel like it's possible that we can manage. It's possible, okay, and especially with Wan-Bissaka coming in to help defensively to come in. There's been strength in there. Wan-Bissaka's probably been one of our best signings. Actually, a very. I'm so looking forward to seeing, because frankly, most teams were attacking us down our right hand side, and Wan-Bissaka will come in and clean up shop. Hopefully, that is the plan. Hopefully, I really hope that will happen. But yeah. Do you think we're going to sign Fernandes? Because right now, if I'm honest, guys, it's looking unlikely to me. I think it does. If we are going to sign him, it's going to be last ditch minute, and we will hope we have a live stream, like transfer, like deadline day, towards midnight, where we'll be covering it. With I said a couple of fans of that there, so tune in for that, because we'll be getting a reaction not from United fans, but Liverpool, Newcastle, Arsenal, and the like. But yeah, guys, I just don't think we're doing it unless it's going to be like really last minute deadline type of thing. I just don't think we're doing it. I don't. I don't. Um, let's rant. more ranting, guys. More ranting, guys. Thanks again for listening, guys. We haven't had these many people viewers for a while, so I really appreciate it, and just shows the growth of the channel. Yeah, I don't think, unless by some sheer miracle at this point, that United are going to be signing Bruno Fernandes, which is such a shame for a player who should essentially be only 62, 65 million pounds. If we're actually waiting for Paul Pogba or Lukaku to be signed, then I think that's a joke. I really think that's a joke. I do. Yeah. But again, Portuguese press, Italian press, to serve their own interest, they've been hyping it up. So yeah. What I would say is, like, guys, when I do get breaking news, the breaking news is coming from it's reporting from outlets. But what I will do is, when it is official, I will post a follow-up confirmed. So when I post video saying confirmed, that means it is confirmed. We have signed, we have agreed this player. That is what is going to happen. So just bear that in mind when it comes to transfer news. Breaking means coming from sources, of course, but when it comes to confirmed, that is confirmed, signed, etc. So that is obviously that's how we're going to do things. Just looking back at comments, keep on commenting, guys. For those who are viewing, really appreciate it as well. Yeah. Can't wait to see Matic and Fred start next season. Fred, I don't mind. Jamie, man. Matic. I think he's going to be a weakness, personally. I do. That's my opinion. But I think that, yeah, I think Fred would be better placed in that position, as opposed to Matic. But I think that Matic it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be very difficult. Very difficult. Okay, so just a brief. So we touched on Milinkovic, Savic, we touched on Maguire, we touched on Bruno Fernandes. So let's just have a brief talk about Nicolas Pepe. Now this has really angered me, guys. Okay, so at the start of the transfer window, I never thought we were going to be in for Nicolas Pepe because I thought he wanted Champions League football. Okay, so I thought that's us out, done, whatever. The fact that he's been linked with Arsenal, that he's potentially going to Arsenal, they've agreed a fee with him. Arsenal not playing Champions League football. Okay? Arsenal are actually paying for him, as so they say, in installments. United have the money to just pay him outright. United need a right winger. Okay? Jesse Lingard is too inconsistent and cuts inside a lot. Mata is not a right winger. Who else do we have? Okay, Daniel James and Rashford could play at the sort of side, but we need that experience, I believe. Out of nowhere, as you say, yeah, Jamie, out of nowhere, Arsenal found money. But United don't have money. Someone explain this to me. Someone explain this to me in the comments. Please explain to me how United cannot afford to get... There's no reason why United couldn't afford to spend 200 million on getting Pepe, Milinkovic, Savic, Fernandes, Maguire, whatever. It's possible. Easily, guys. Easily. But one of the big things, so to finish the Pepe point, I really don't get, I really don't understand how Manchester United have missed out on that. Maybe they weren't in for him. They probably weren't in for him. But I don't know. I really don't know. I just don't understand. So yeah, Arsenal fans are gassed. I'm getting bantered by them. We're going to be awesome. We're going to be amazing. Meanwhile, we're trying to get deals, if at all. Now, clearly, we are trying to get deals because Ole has said we're working 1 or 2 transfers. So clearly, we are trying to get deals. We are. We must be. So we're not working on nothing. But again, I just don't understand how it's not been possible for us to really get anything, to get anyone, because we want to save money. I don't understand it. I really don't get it at all. So okay, so those are the main players. Those are who we've obviously. Those are the people who we've discussed, who've been linked with, etc. Who I posted videos multiple times. Frankly, guys, the whole Dybala, Lukaku swap, all this sort of stuff, news with Tweedy and other players, I just think is just nonsense. I don't think Juventus are going to make Dybala. I'd be very surprised if that happened. It is obvious, it is clear. Well, let's talk about guys. Let's talk about outgoings now. Okay, so specifically, the only two players that have been linked with leaving the club are Lukaku and Paul Pogba. Now, let me just give you my opinion on this for a second. While Lukaku and Paul Pogba have obviously expressed their desire to leave, and while they are not, Pogba's been a bit inconsistent in Lukaku, while we haven't known Lukaku, I still believe that there was much more deadwood at the club that should have taken more priority leaving than Paul Pogba and Romelu Lukaku. The fact that Phil Jones has a new contract, the fact that Rojo, who spent most of the season injured not playing, is still there. Matic, who 31, I don't understand. I just don't understand. The guy at my right hand is stupid, said Isaac Matoga. Yes, that's Ed Woodward right there. Jamie, I think there's been a robbery here. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. The fact that you have players, Mata, I love Mata, I love him. I think he's good, but he's 31, he's slow, he's not able to, I just don't think he can cut at this level anymore. I just don't. Yes, we let Valencia go. You know, guys, we are outgoings. The biggest one, guys, Alexis Sanchez on 400k a week. No one's mentioned the guy. Alexis Sanchez is not. It's funny. Tell me what you think, guys. Post in the comments. It's funny. Sorry. Alexis Sanchez, guys. So I'm just gonna get a drink. My mouth is absolutely dry, guys, from just the amount of ranting that I've been doing. But tell me what you think, guys. Alexis Sanchez. No one has mentioned him at all. He's not been involved in preseason. He's not been involved in much United news at all. He's on 400k a week, guys. And he's doing absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing, guys. Yeah, Jamie, exactly. Rojo, Matic, Jones, Sanchez are still at the club. To be fair to Lukaku, I'm not his biggest defender, but to be fair to Lukaku at least has contributed goals. And important goals. He scored a couple of goals when we were to push us and to get us in the top 4 race. And he scored those goals against PSG. So to be fair, Lukaku has scored important goals. He hasn't scored he's missed tap-ins, and I appreciate that, but he's contributed. None of those other players that you mentioned, Sanchez in particular, has not contributed whatsoever. At all. And he's on more, 400k a week. Think of the disharmony that creates when you have a player who does absolutely nothing, who then who sits on the bench, is injured, pocketing 400k a week, to players like Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka who've just come in, who are working ridiculously hard for the club. Just think about that. It's ridiculous. And I don't know how, if Bale, although it's fallen through, can potentially link to China, I don't know how we can't offload him. I really don't. I think it's a nonsense. I really do. Sorry, guys. 2 seconds. So yeah, tell me what you think, guys. Who else do you think? Jamie Darmian. Oh my gosh. My goodness, guys, just oh man, it's Darmian even at the club. I even forgot about him, and he's been just. And the thing is, and I'm making this point. What this does, because we have such a overinflated squad, is that for youth. Have you noticed, guys, that okay, yes, in preseason I've posted a video, talked to you about Chong and Gomez and Garner and Greenwood and Twansibi, who are looking good, who are hungry, etc. But the reality is, with that such an inflated squad, those youth, those young, are not getting opportunities. They're not. And I don't think that's specifically Ollie. It could be, but I think a lot of it also has to do with the fact that if you're paying these guys, because think of it, Daniel Ed Greenwood is only on £800 a week apparently. I think £800 a week, 800, 8,000. It might be 800 a week. I can't remember, but barely nothing basically. So if you're Ed Woodward, if you're the board, you're like, well, you have to play these players because they're being paid, so you have to play them. We don't mind you not playing the youth because they don't cost us anything, but you have to play Sanchez. You have to play this because they're costing us, thousands. So the youth get stifled because the Deadwood can't go. It's a disaster. It's really 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 a disaster. I I just I, I I don't know, guys. I really don't. And I just think again, please hit that like button, share and subscribe, guys, to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, We United X. Let's push forward. Let's go and let's push on to the goal of a thousand subscribers actually. So and really get this channel up and going because we're going to continue doing a lot of this audio stuff, and yeah, giving you guys more content and getting the community involved. And I'm loving this is the most interactive chat we've had, which is really good, and I really appreciate the feedback because this is a discussion, guys. This is because we are in a transfer crisis. We are. We really, really, really are. We are. Right. What else is there to talk about? There's plenty to talk about. There's plenty. Um. So okay, yeah. So I'm in that point there in that Lukaku wants to leave, should be let to leave, but because he well, because a pound Inter won't stuff up enough cash, because we are cheapskates, or we're interested in Mario Cardi for whatever reason, there's a very good chance he'll stay. But we'll see. But again, without Lukaku, and this is the only thing I will say in Lukaku's defense, for those who are listening, is that Lukaku, like I said, contributed goals. If we take Lukaku out, who's going to bring in those goals? Rashford and Martial were playing last season, and there was a period where they didn't score any goals. Greenwood could chip in, possibly, but Greenwood is still a youth. Daniel James, where there was a lot of. This is the thing, and I know someone that mentioned this a while back, is that we are placing a lot of hope. We're going into the season with hope, not with evidence or realism. So we hope that Rashford will perform this season. We hope that Martial will step up. We hope that Daniel James will click. We hope that Greenwood will pick up. We hope. And I hope too. But, there needs to be a mixture of hope and experience. If Koulibaly comes, we know he's got the experience, for example. But with others, it's like they could all just flop. They might not, hopefully they won't, but they could. So hope can be a dangerous thing. And if I'm honest, guys, I think that coming into the season, we should really, really, really keep our expectations low. We really should. Oh, well, sorry, yeah, reading the comic. What happened to Demi Mitchell? Why is he on tour? Got no idea. No idea, mate. Injury, possibly? Possibly injury? I think he possibly might be injured. Possibly. And again, Lukaku posted a picture on his Instagram yesterday with his agent, and the caption was, to be continued. Yeah, I mean, guys, it's clearly it's obviously he wants to leave. There's no doubt about that. He wants to leave and insert into an interested. And fair enough. My only point with Lukaku is the thing is just that I feel like we need to sign a replacement. We do, and I don't know who the replacement is. People said Dybala, fine. I don't know where he would play though. Really, I would rather much have like an outright for like Icardi. To be honest, I really think Lukaku Icardi swap that for me would be the dream because he's got a better touch. He can finish. He can score. That would work. Dybala, I just don't know where he'd. I mean, yeah, okay, maybe Pogba can link up possibly, but I'm not sure where he would fit. Let me know, guys, where if Lukaku and Dybala swap. Let me know where he would fit. Sorry, guys. Right. Yeah. So yeah, I'll finish that off with Lukaku because I think he will leave. But I also think that again, yes, I think Lukaku should, but he did contribute goals, and much like with Pogba, we need to find replacements. I don't think if we start the season and we lose Lukaku and Paul Pogba, we will be a weaker team compared to last season. The only strengthening will be at right back. But in general, we'll be a weaker team. We will be. You know, I, none. I just, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So moving on. I think we'll just briefly talk about Ollie, and then I'll have a brief Ed Woodward rant, and then we'll probably finish the stream. Just taking a few more of your comments. It's fine. So, ooh, I've got a new comment from. I'll read that later. Anyway, so basically, Ollie, what do you guys expect from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now? Please post. I want to go. Please post because what do you Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has managed Mould and obviously Cardiff. He's not got big Premier League experience, and he's basically not been backed. Let's be honest. I mean, I do think he likes youth and like youth. That's fair enough. But I don't. I just don't. I don't think that he's been backed. Yeah, someone Ben Luke saying it said on Sky News that last week that Man United did not buy Bruno Fernandes. Fact. Well, that's reports. That's reports that are saying that. So Sky Sports are reporting that. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, but anyway, it's fine. We're still influenced, but it's not necessarily. It's not necessarily a. It's the same. It's the same reports coming out. So they're commenting on that report, not Sky saying it. But anyway, fine. So going back to Ollie, just responding to that comment. Going back to Ollie. Yeah, guys. What do you expect from him? What do you expect for this season? Because he's not being backed, and he, I don't see how this team is going to be strong enough to compete in top four. So, what do you? He played great football with the team that he had, and he's got them fitter. But I don't really know what you guys expect from Ollie, to be honest. Personally, I don't expect much. Not because I think he's a bad manager, but I don't think he's been backed enough. And I think the clear, obvious weaknesses in the side, and when you see the likes of Leicester and Wolves who have strengthened, I think we're going to be looking a lot over our shoulder this season. City and Liverpool, okay, maybe City, but certainly no those teams didn't need to strengthen that much. Tottenham have strengthened in Dembele. Arsenal now apparently have strengthened. Where have we really, really strengthened where we need it? So, to be honest, if we lose Lukaku, Pogba, don't sign any more players, and we finish top four, that will be an absolute miracle. An absolute, absolute miracle. It will be. No one can have any complaints. We can't say, oh, we why don't we get a trophy? Why don't we go further? When if he finishes fourth with what he's been given, he absolute miracle, and he stays at the club. Even to be honest, a Europa League, and we might rely on that. Like we need the Europa League to get us back in the Champions League football, keep him. And even if we miss out, to be honest, I just don't know what if we come fifth, no Europa League. I don't know what we can do, because even if we were to sack Ole, and I don't think we should, what would be the what would the new manager get? You know what I mean? Just reading some of your comments. Yeah. Isaac Matongo, yeah, the guy Han doesn't know about football. About to pay, what he knows is money and banking, of course. Jamie again. Dybala could play right wing, which would mean Rasha Mashud would play striker. Yeah, it's possible. I do think Mason Greenwood is going to get more games. I think so. I'm interested to see where Greenwood will fit, or maybe he might be coming from the sub. Does it also mean that Lingard would come out as well? Yeah, interesting. Well, yeah, I want Ole to get fourth. He hasn't been backed though, which isn't his fault. And my fear is that this could be another season like last year. Mourinho. Ole doesn't have his players. He has Mourinho's. Yeah, absolutely. That is my fear. That is my fear. That is 100% my fear. I just think that. I just think that. We can't just keep on sacking managers when clearly the board are not backing said managers. Now, to be fair, at least Van Gaal and Mourinho in the first season, they got big name type players. Van Gaal, we got Falcao, we got Di Maria. Mourinho got Pogba, for example. So we got big name players. Sorry, 1 second, guys. So yeah, we got big name players. We do. Van Gaal got the backing, Mourinho got the backing, but what I don't understand is why Solskjaer, legend of the club, why he didn't get the backing. I don't understand that, guys. I really don't. And I just think that, I think it would be naive if we struggled to be like just so simple as just get a new manager in. This is the thing with Pochettino as well. Sorry, this is the thing with Pochettino as well, is that a lot of people are like, get Pochettino, he'll do this thing. It's like, yeah, but the thing is that Pochettino, okay, has established his thing. He's been giving a lot of control. He's Daniel Levy knows that he's got a good thing with Pochettino. Okay, he really has. Sorry, I'm just getting message all the time. Yeah. So, as you've seen with the signing of Dembele, he knows he's got to back him. Okay. With our board, I have not seen any evidence to suggest that that they want to back him. I haven't. I really haven't. I haven't seen it at all. Isaac says, I love the coach, but the guy behind him is, I don't know. I think next season we give him a director of football. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's Ole, really. I want top four. I do. But if I'm honest, I wouldn't be surprised if basically that he struggles this season. It's as simple as that. I would not be really surprised if he struggles at all. Thanks again for listening, guys. Thanks for continuing to listen. Okay, we're almost done. So I'm just gonna basically we're now gonna end this. We're talking about Ed Woodward and the board. What do you think, guys? What do you think about Ed Woodward? Because he has been over the last we had Moyes, Mourinho, Van Gaal, and obviously Solskjaer now. What do you think about Ed Woodward? Because we need a director of football. We needed it ages ago, and yet we haven't got it. He still remains nice juice there, in control. of Manchester United transfers. Supposedly, that involves the manager, although clearly Ole wants players and is not getting them. And the reality is that this man, okay, he's the one that's brought the players to the club, okay? But he's got no football experience. I get the premise of having to save money, etc. I get that, I do. But he's got none of it. Paul Christian says they are backing no one. They want the money to fit in. It's in their bank, and that's what it says. The Glazers have had a large loan and put the club as security. Of course. The Glazers, the board. It's the only thing you could say is that, okay, were there many people Glazers out, bored out? When we're doing well, when we're winning Champions League, when we're winning Premier League, no one was doing that. So it's easy to be like, well, United have been dominating, and Glazers were always money grabbers then. So what's the deal? I would love the Glazers to sell. I hate the idea of it's the club is bought on debt. And I love us to actually invest properly. I would, but it's increasing. That just it seems that's not going to happen. Strangely, for the second biggest club in the world, it's strange. It's absolutely strange. And I don't know about you guys, but we desperately need a director of football. We do. We need a director of football to be in charge of transfers, to basically just take the direction of this club forward. But we need an experienced director of football, not just someone who is a yes man, who just wants the position, who just says, "All right, you know what, guys, you know what, I really, love Manchester United, and I'm just in boxing. I want to make people happy, and blah 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 blah." We need someone who's experienced, knows what they're doing. Like even Edwin van der Sar, for example, is experienced, knows what he's doing. That type of thing. We need someone like that, with the experience. James says, I genuinely think Ed Woodward might be trolling us. I genuinely can't see how anyone could ever give Phil Jones or Ashley Young a contract extension because they think it's good. Well, it's because it's cheap though. Why spend 80 million on Harry Maguire? When you can renew Phil Jones's contract. It's as simple as that. And obviously, to be fair, someone needs to buy these players. And the problem, and this is the heart of the matter as well, and this is where we come and talk about the players, is that Manchester United have one of the highest wage bills in the world, in the Premier League, definitely. So the reality is, guys, is that with the Deadwood FC on high wages, okay? So our issue, for example, with Sanchez is that how are you going to sell Alexis Sanchez, okay? How are you going to sell him when people or teams or clubs can't afford their wages? You know what I mean, guys? No club is going to pay 400,000 for Alexis Sanchez unless he goes to China. So, the problem here, the problem, guys, is that we pay our players so much, and then we struggle to offload them. Think of it. When was the last time we actually sold a player to anyone in the Premier League or abroad? Can you remember? We sold Fellaini, but Fellaini went to China. Mkhitaryan was a swap. And we sold, I think, Di Maria and Falcao, but those were at a loss, a substantial loss. But recently, in the last 3-4 years, what players have we sold? None of significance, anyway. So the difficulty of selling players, because we pay our players so high, and that comes to the matter of that, and I've almost come to accept almost, is that we want to have a United Club. You look at Liverpool Football Club. Liverpool have the same history as we do. They're not paid nowhere near as much, but you can see they want to play for the badge. And you see they're not being bribed to stay at Liverpool. If I'm honest, as much as I want experience, I also think that we should not be paying like ridiculous amount wages for players just to come, just to be doing Alexis Sanchez and walk their dogs. That should not be the Manchester United way at all. It shouldn't. If players don't want to come to the club, fine. If they don't want to leave the club, fine. We want players who are passionate. You look at Wan-Bissaka, and hopefully he'll come form. The United, fan as a kid, that type of thing. You want that. You want that passion. You want that play. You want that sort of, and the record repents as a result. But guys, to have players who don't care on high wages, there's not much point. And maybe we just have to rebuild with the youth. Maybe that's what Ollie's trying to do. Maybe Ollie's trying to say, you know what, guys, I don't want ridiculously wages. Although to be fair, Rashford on £350,000 a week at 21, 22, I don't agree with. But we'll see. We'll see what happens to Rashford. Why do we ever hydrate Alexis over City? It's just ask Mourinho. I think that Alexis Sanchez deal ruined us. It really did. It really did ruin us, guys. So yeah, guys. That's my Manchester United transfer rant, man. I mean, I'm exhausted. I think I had to just get that all out to you guys. And I thank you guys so much for contributing to the chat. We're gonna have a lot more of these discussions, stuff like that. As well. I really want to do a lot of the more live stream based stuff to get more of the community involved and to have more discussions, etc. Because I think it's really, really important. But guys, seriously, it's getting a bit depressing right now. We're still going to cover the transfer news up until the window end, but seriously, it's a joke. It's a big joke. And I really, really hope in the next 11 days, we'll get some positive news. But I'm not hopeful. I'm really not. Thanks for listening, guys. Please, just a few comments. Just read the last couple of comments before we end the stream. Paul, dead will stay dead, as some clubs will not buy the fees. Yes, as I said, and guys on massive wages are not going to leave the club. Of course, yeah, to go on no wages. They won't kill. So, of course. So what about money? Unfortunately, they're not. I'll make a comment. I remember 2 seasons ago, Oxlade-Chamberlain, he left Arsenal to go to Liverpool. Okay, he left and he left on lower wages. Why? Because he wanted to improve his career. He wanted to get their football, and he goes to Liverpool. Arsenal fans banter him, being like, "Oh, you're nothing," etc. In time, he's a beast for them. And the only thing was that his injuries were he got unlucky with injuries. But he left Arsenal on a higher wage to play for Liverpool on a lower wage, and now he's part of something. Unfortunately, a lot of players that mentality is rare. Players that deliberately want to leave clubs, big clubs, maybe like your Sanchos, etc., to really further their playing career. That's rare, and I just wonder how many players we have at Manchester United, which maybe, like I said, is why Ollie seems to be directing his viewpoint, to youth. Maybe because I think as you get older, after a certain point, it just becomes more about the money and where you get it than actually the heart of the game. And that's unfortunately how money has destroyed football and how it's destroying our football club. Last few comments. I'd fight for the badge more than some of his players at a club. I agree. I think you'd probably be a better centre back, to be honest. Isaac's saying we want a guy who knows his business and has a lot of experience. We want a guy who can do these deals first, and a guy who knows how to do deals first. Exactly. I agree, definitely. And James, cheers, mate. Once again, Quantum 6 subs. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Please continue to support the channel. Thank you for tuning in and listening, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe this video and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, We Are United X. Take a look at our previous video where we're talking about what we have planned for the channel, and stay tuned for a lot more interesting content. Have a nice day, guys. Have a nice evening. And cheers.